want to touch on Rolling in the Deep, because you're tackling a very, very current song that week, one that is on the radio right now, and it's gutsy, and that often doesn't work out well because the comparison is so prominent in people's minds that it's hard to shake. But you made a lot of choices melodically, you know, when you hit reap just what you sow, and you do that little high note and almost like a scat.
Roll your soul through every open door. Count your blessings to what you're looking for. Turn my sorrow into treasure gold. You pay me back in kind and reap just what you sow. We could have had it all.
How much in your brain were you thinking, I've got to do something a little different or take it in a different direction? Were you worried about that going in?
Yeah, it's always on the borderline. You don't want to change it too much, step on anyone's toes, you know, have them feel like, oh, it's new and you're changing it. At the same time, you don't want to do it exactly like them. That week was very strange for me. To be honest, I literally never felt that stressed out until like the last week probably. But it was like I couldn't look in anybody's eyes without them giving me like a life lesson or an opinion about something. And I'm thinking, you know, just let me go out and do it. I think I'll be okay. But with all this stuff just piling up, I was like, what am I supposed to do, you know?
A lot of contestants have said you're dealing with Jimmy and his team, you're dealing with what the judges want, you're dealing with, you know, you're also the producers of a TV show who are trying to create a TV show, and then you're on Twitter now,
and
so
people
you hear from fans.
Just in the street telling you, don't sell out. I'm like, okay, man, I'm trying, it's a theme show.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a bunch of different opinions, and you want to, it's great, you know, having all these different ears. You want to listen to it all and take a lot of it with you, but at the same time, I mean, you don't need all of it, and you can really beat yourself up and lose focus and lose yourself if you don't pay attention to keep that fine balance between the two.
Say hello to Haley Reinhart, ladies and gentlemen.
Top 5 week was the first time you got a sit-down interview on the stage, which is kind of incredible.
You got your hands on an unreleased Lady Gaga song. How'd you do that?
It actually wasn't an interview about yourself, but it was an interview about getting clearance for you and I. So still you remained a blank slate.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, they want me up there? That's cool. I didn't even know the song beforehand. Jimmy had presented it to me, and everybody was so into it and rooting for me to do it. That was another week that I had that gut feeling that they were going to give me crap about it. And I thought, you know, this was something that everybody just thought would be great for me. I took a huge risk. I was really hoping I'd get a little bit of credit for it.
I was moved to tears during the performance. I thought, this is Haley finally. They're going to tell her this was amazing. Maybe they'll give her a standing O. I thought the vocal was incredible on it. Then the first words are,
"Hi, baby."
Wait, "Hey, baby" means something negative is coming. Surely she's not going to get a negative critique for that.
At this point in the competition, when you have Scotty and James coming out doing what they're doing, you just have to showcase yourself to the best you can every time with songs that people are really going to connect to you and love. And I just want you to do that because, again,
I am maybe a little bit of a perfectionist, but nothing goes perfectly on that stage. So no matter what, I'm always having fun either way up until I get there.
I'm not sure it's that great of a...
You gave it a little theatricality starting on the stairs with the sort of leaning back and flipping the stage a little bit.
I'm so glad you remember all this. That's really nice.
You came roaring back, though, and I mean, you did look a little pissed.
A great song is a great song. I'm not sure it was the best choice of song, and she's right. It's so risky.
And even the judges were like, maybe you were a little angry at us.
I don't know if you came out a little angry at us from before.
I should have just kept that all to myself so that they didn't pick up on that.
But let's talk a little bit about House of the Rising Sun.
There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one.
Kind of a dark mood for that late in the Idol season. I mean, you know, Idol sort of runs on positive vibes and sort of this is my now and confetti showers and you took House of the Rising Sun. It was dark, it was moody. That beginning, the a cappella intro to it was insane. And I think it was the moment of the Idol season, and anyone who wants to disagree with it is wrong.
I love this guy.
Well, my father was a gambling man. Well, down in New Orleans.
I remember going to, what is the hotel called, like Oceana or something? We do interviews there, and the song comes on. It was time to make decisions pretty soon. Then I talked to my mom, the most reliable source on the planet, and she says, you know, your aunt she really wants you to host the Rising Sun. I'm like, you know what, Mom? It's funny you should say that, because I just heard in the car on the way here. Again, it's just little stuff like that, and I just like feed into it. Don was another producer on the show. I was eager to work with him the whole time, never got to, and it was his last week I overheard him saying he was going to go work with John Mayer. Awesome. I said, I need to work with this man before he leaves. Right. Perfect song to do it with.
Yeah.
And he does everything live with the band, with the raw, authentic band feel.
Okay.
And I was
so
like,
it's not bits and pieces
no,
patched.
and it's not, I haven't even listened to the recording yet, but hopefully it turned out okay. It's just one take most of the time, you know, like we just went through and just kept doing the whole acapella thing. You know, I had that idea. I heard Siobhan did it, and I'm a huge Siobhan fan, so I kind of feel bad that I didn't remember that. And I guess she did an acapella in the beginning too, so whoops, I'm sorry. But I honestly didn't mean to like comp that from her or anything. I had that same vision. I was trying to get some railing and stuff. I didn't get any of the props I wanted, you know, the lamppost. I don't know. But the rest of it was there.
You made some interesting note choices, like on, you know, mothers tell their children. You didn't go big at the beginning of that verse. You suddenly took it back. You go in knowing you're going to make those choices already, or does some of it just happen spontaneously?
To start it off, like when I'm just singing it, I felt that what I've learned in this business is they say, basically, don't improv a lot. Don't go off. And I'm like, but I love that. That's what I live for. Have an idea of where you're going to go, because if not, you might regret that and go somewhere that you didn't want to go. After I just did it and felt that at first, I'm like, okay, I'll stick with that big, and then boom, and then go back to the snaps.
Oh, mother will tell your children.
And then just let it grow, because you only have, the thing about it is, you only have 1 minute and 30 seconds to show who you are, what moods you want, so it does make more sense to actually kind of have a little roadmap to where you want to go.
Spend your life in sin and misery in the house of the rising sun.
I think it's a tie between Scotty, James, and Lauren.
You are crashing a party that you have not been invited to, and it's time for you to go home. And would you please go home? And why are you still here, you know, at the piano, hanging out and having a good time at the party? You're supposed to be home.